So the EFL has fantasy football. And as this channel is going to be doing some Premier League fantasy football this year, maybe some Italian fantasy football, why don't we follow the EFL fantasy football as well? Let's head over. So as we are a few days from the opening fixture of the 25-26 season, Luton AFC Wimbledon on Friday night, I decided we would put together the fantasy team for the first weekend. And to do that, I had to have a look at the Championship League table from last year, the League 1 league table from last year, and the League 2 league table from last year. Now, there's no Championship fixtures this weekend, so the main focus was League 1 and League 2. But it was nice to have a look to see which teams are scoring goals and which teams are getting quite a good defensive record. For example, Gillingham in League 2 only conceded 46 goals in 46 games last season, which is quite good for a team that far down. So maybe one of their players, one of their defenders, would be a good shout if they had a home game. And you've got the likes of Cardiff coming down from the Championship, who I do think will be too strong for League 1. So again, maybe one of their defenders might be a good shout if they had a home game. One of my focuses for the first weekend would be to look at players who have home fixtures. I also went to the transfer market and looked at who the top goal scorers in League 1 and League 2 were for the last season, just to see if any of them players were available to pick up and get a good deal with. So moving over to look at game week 1 and seeing exactly who I've put in our team and why. So first off, we have Tickle. He is the goalkeeper for Wigan Athletic. Now, Wigan Athletic did really well defensively last season. If we go to here, you can see Wigan were all the way down 15th, but only conceded 42 goals in 46 games. Now, if you work your way up, you can see teams in the playoffs were conceding 42 and 43. Only Wrexham and Birmingham City, who both went up, conceded less. I did think putting him in goal when they had a home game against Northampton Town, I thought it was a really good shout. Put him in, along with Kerr as well, who played 44 games last season. So again, I think it's a good defender to put into the squad for this season. For this opening game where they play against Northampton Town at home, I think that's a win for Wigan. Then we've gone with Perry Ng, who have Peterborough at home. Now, we've got a League 1 table. Peterborough came 18th last season. I think it's a good shout to go with Cardiff beating them on the opening day. I've gone with Payne, who is a central midfielder. Sorry, a midfielder, not central midfielder, for Colchester with 8 goals, 15 assists last season. And again, Colchester did quite well. 52 goals, 47 goals conceded. They're a fairly solid team, and they were at home to Tranmere. Then I've gone with Chong from Luton. Now, this quite hurt because I've selected Wimbledon as a club I follow in the Football League. And picking the players playing against them was a bit of a struggle, but I do think Chong might perform really well in League 1. One of the few players who is playing away from home, well, the only player, is Yatta, who scored a lot of goals last season, 19 and 40, that's 1 and 2. They away to Newport County, but Newport County did struggle last season, coming third bottom and just surviving relegation. And also I went with Collins up top, Aaron Collins for MK Dons. Didn't want to pick an MK Dons player, but they've got Oldham at home. He had 12 goals in 45 last season. I think he can actually pick up some goals for us. I've captained him for this opening game. And I've gone with, you can pick 2 teams who also secure you points. So I have selected Cardiff. I think they're going to get the win. And Wigan, because again, I think they're going to get the win. I really do. And then we'll obviously look at adjusting for the second week. You can see Molineux. It's a good shout. It's a good shout. 50% of selecting. We got 16 goals, 14 assists last season. They are at home to Exeter City. But I wanted to try to go for something different. Was Chong a bad option when I could have gone Molineux? Potentially. Should we maybe look at taking him out? Potentially. This is the only issue I'm considering. The only options, maybe we 4-2-3-1, sorry. remove Colin, so we're removing that MK Dons player, which was making me feel dirty. And let's select Molyneux to come in. I tell you what, let's make sure he's captained as well, yeah. So he's captain, Chong vice captain. We're going with 3 midfielders, but the offensive midfielders. Bit of a change there. Bit of a change live during the episode. So I'm excited how it's gonna go. It's my first time doing the Fantasy EFL. Is it the first year of the Fantasy EFL? I think it might be. In terms of how all the points work, we're gonna work it out together. We could go through all the help situation, but let's work it out after game week 1 when we recap how it's going. This is a tutorial as well, but do tutorials. So make sure you do let me know in the comments below how you think it's going to go. On Friday night, I will be watching Wimbledon, which is there, the Wimbledon kit on my mannequin, against Luton to get the EFL underway for the 25-26 season. Comment below who you are following and comment below what you think of the team and what your team is looking like.